Well, it's great to see a full house in here tonight. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Maley, Brighton Town Supervisor. This is the October 8th, 2025 meeting of the Brighton Town Board. I would ask that you rise if you're able to do so, and I will ask Councilmember Corrado to lead us in the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Next Monday, October 13th, is Indigenous Peoples Day. And as we start our meeting tonight, we acknowledge that the town of Brighton is situated and located on the ancestral and traditional lands of the Onondaga tribe of the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, whom we recognize and respect as the traditional custodians of this land, this community throughout the generations. We pay our respects to Onondaga elders, both past and present. We celebrate the history, the culture, and the traditions of the Onondaga, which are truly worthy of our understanding and our study, and we praise those who keep those traditions alive. We recognize that the study and understanding of the Onondaga history, culture, and traditions is of ongoing importance if we are to truly understand the history, culture, and traditions of this community, this state, and this nation. So we support all efforts to ensure that we and future generations continue to respect and recognize the Onondaga in a way that is honest and truthful, so that in the words of Sakachawata, the great Haudenosaunee chief and orator, who was also known as Red Jacket, we may always work together to brighten the chain of friendship. We will be beginning the open forum portion of the meeting in just a few minutes after some very happy celebrations this evening. But when we get to that point, the open forum is the opportunity for members of the public to share their comments with the town board. If you're live streaming us, I will ask that you log into Teams. You can't join us in the open forum, or for that matter in the public hearing, unless you log into Teams. There are detailed instructions for doing that on the Town of Brighton webpage, www.townofbrighton.org. As we've done for many years, this meeting and all of our town board meetings are accessible to the deaf and hard of hearing community, thanks to our ASL interpreters, and we're always happy to have Sam Geffen and Mike Fisher, our regulars. Thank you, both of you. As a reminder, the agenda for tonight's meeting and all of the supporting materials are available online, but they are also on the table outside the door. Okay. Go up to the podium here. And Tiffany, I'll ask you to join me. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Many of you know that I've had the privilege of walking to support the Willow Domestic Violence Center. The format of that event has changed a little bit over the years, but my commitment, Chief Cathaldi's commitment, the fire department's commitment to that event and to Willow just remains as strong as ever. The opportunity to raise money and support the good work that you do, but also to raise community awareness. It is so vital that people in the community know that Willow is there to meet the needs of survivors of domestic violence and their families. We are proud to support the Willow Domestic Violence Center so that we can together help build a community that is free of domestic violence. Until that day, until we can reach that goal, Willow will be there to provide those necessary services. Willow provides housing along with a range of other services that are free and confidential to survivors of domestic violence, to the children of survivors of domestic violence, and even to pets of survivors of domestic violence. So tonight, we support their work by issuing this proclamation in honor of Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas home is generally envisioned as a place of love, warmth, and comfort, but for far too many people, it is a prison instead of a sanctuary, demoralizing instead of supportive, and dangerous instead of safe. Whereas domestic violence destroys the homes, childhoods, and freedom of an estimated 13 million people per year, and nearly 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will experience severe physical violence by an intimate partner during their lifetime. And whereas the Willow Domestic Violence Center runs the only licensed domestic violence shelter in Monroe County, serving about 300 adults and 250 children each year, supporting them as they escape dangerous situations and work on creating their new lives. Whereas Willow provides counseling for individuals and groups, prevention education and training, a pet shelter, and supportive housing, while fiercely advocating for an end to domestic violence. Whereas together we must resolve to have zero tolerance for acts of domestic violence and reaffirm our commitment to empowering survivors and ending this deeply destructive abuse that reverberates across generations. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Brighton Town Supervisor William W. Maley, and my colleagues on the Brighton Town Board do hereby declare October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the town of Brighton. And we strongly encourage those who are being subjected to domestic violence to seek assistance by calling the Willow Domestic Violence Center 24-hour hotline at 585-222-SAFE, S-A-F-E, or by visiting the website at willowcenterny.org. And this proclamation is signed this 8th day of October, 2025, by myself and by my colleagues on the town board who are with us this evening. Tiffany, it's a pleasure to present this to you. I think we will pose for a picture as we do. Yeah. Go ahead.
One more.
Thank you, Tiffany, and we'd love to have you. Yes.
So I want to say thank you. Again, my name is Tiffany Padisi. I'm not only a Willow team member, but I'm also a Brighton resident, so it's always an honor to stand before you on this day to represent Willow Domestic Violence Center. In addition, I wanted to add some statistics to what Bill was saying. So in our 2024 report, of course, we don't have 2025 yet complete, we had 4,521 reports of domestic violence in Monroe County reported. We had 38,546 911 domestic dispute calls made in Monroe County. We had 3 domestic violence homicides, which is way too many. Our orders of protection, so individuals that go to seek orders in court, we had 4,784 petitions for orders of protection filed, 4,181 temporary orders of protection granted, and 1,073 final orders of protection granted. So as Bill was highlighting many of our services, I just wanted to give you program highlights. So yes, we have a supportive housing program. We have 2 buildings within Monroe County that we provide support. They provided 657 service points. Our individuals that resided in our shelter last year were 476 individuals. We recently opened a family justice center, which is a holistic approach to care. So we work with the police department, we work with the DA, we work with legal aid, and of course the Willow team. We service 236 clients. Our prevention education team supported 8,610 participants. We had nearly 13,000 calls to our hotline last year. Our court advocacy program serviced 2,757 individuals. Our counselors held 3,085 counseling sessions. We had 63 support groups, and our mobile advocates, who are individuals that go out into the community and meet the individual where he, she, or they are, they met with 1,418 individuals. As Bill said, our goal is to eliminate domestic violence, and as you guys know, it hits everybody, regardless of race, socioeconomic status, education, every suburb and city in Rochester. So again, I want to thank you for this opportunity. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to present, and we are always here for everybody. I also want to congratulate the two that are receiving their awards today. Congratulations, and thank you, and welcome to the Brighton community. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. I think, one of the last points that Tiffany made is so important, that domestic violence crosses all boundaries: rural, urban, racial, socioeconomic. No one is safe from it's in our community. Yes, here in Brighton and throughout. So, Tiffany, thank you for the work.
Again.
You
guys
and
have a blessed
everyone
night.
at Willow.
Thank you.
Okay. Chief, I'll invite you up. Peggy, I'll invite you up. And I'll let you invite our new officers.
Officer Newcomb and Officer Herring, step up and bring your families with you as well. I'm not going to force you, but if you want to come on up, come on up. Where'd Steve go? Pay attention to Steve, he'll get everybody situated where they need to. Right here. Right to that corner. Here. Thank you. Give me a second. Thought this was going to be easy. Oh, yeah. Production. Good. Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. It's my honor to welcome all of you here as we gather to witness the administration of the oath of office to our two newest members and to officially welcome them to the Brighton Police Department. It's important to the community. They have the opportunity to see the caliber of the officers who choose to serve. I also believe it's essential that this oath be taken publicly before the community, before your families, and before your fellow officers. This moment serves as a reminder of the gravity and the honor of the responsibility you now assume. The oath you are about to take sets you apart. It symbolizes the very heart of our profession. It is a solemn and lifelong commitment to uphold the highest ideals of law enforcement and to serve as a guardian of peace, justice, and community trust. Every officer who earns the right to wear this badge has completed a rigorous selection process, one that includes review, evaluation, and an interview before our citizen interview panel, which has been in place since 2021. This ensures that those who join our ranks reflect not only the standards of this department, but also the expectations and values of the people we serve. Officer Newcomb comes to us from the Village of East Rochester Police Department, where he's worked for over 3 years. Before that, Tim worked with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office as both a corrections officer and a road patrol deputy for over 4 years. He also has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from SUNY Brockport, and in a moment, we'll take his oath of office. Officer Herring comes to us from the Canandaigua Police Department, where she worked for a little over a year. However, in that short time, she earned a life-saving award for actions in November of 2024 for rescuing a woman from a house fire and preventing another distraught person from becoming a victim when they attempted to re-enter the building. Officer Herring has completed some coursework at St. Bonaventure University, where she studied physical education. Without further delay, Peggy, I'll have you do the honors.
So if I think they want you on the microphone. So I'll say I, and then you say your name, and then you'll repeat the oath together after me. Yeah, same time, okay? So, I,
I,
your names,
Timothy
Kayla
McBeth,
Herring.
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of police officer
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
According to the best of my ability.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm honored to stand here tonight as I take this oath to serve the Brighton community. Thank you to Chief Catholdi, the Brighton Town Board, and the department for this opportunity and your trust. This moment to me represents more than just the beginning of a career. It's a pledge to serve with integrity, to protect with courage, and to treat every member of our community with respect and fairness. To my family and friends and fellow officers, thank you for your constant support.
I just want to thank, obviously, my family for going through with this adventure with me of becoming being in law enforcement. I want to thank the town board, obviously Chief Catholdi. Steve, thanks for the endless work you did in my background. Hopefully I don't disappoint you. But thank you guys, and I'm looking forward to serve the community.
It's a great day to be able to welcome both of you into this department. You've all heard me say it, there is no finer law enforcement agency in the state of New York than the Brighton Police Department. You are part of this community, and you've shown your commitment to serve the community. We're grateful for that service. We're grateful to your families. It is not easy being the families of a police officer, but you are supporting them in everything that they do. And from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of all the people of the town of Brighton, I say thank you and welcome to the Brighton Police Department.
As I was telling before, I used to say, let's go downstairs and have cake, but now we kind of have to go across town to have cake. So we'll gather out here for some photos, and then it's cake time, kids.
And thank you to our many officers who are here as well. That's the kind of support, the teamwork, that makes this department so good. Thank you. Thank you. Chief? Finally, tonight, we issue our proclamation, as we do every year, recognizing Monday, October 13th, as Indigenous Peoples' Day 2025. We started tonight's meeting, of course, with a land acknowledgement. That is an important acknowledgement that we have done for many years, recognizing the role that the Haudenosaunee played in this community, in our history, in our culture, and how important that is. I'm going to read this proclamation in just a moment, but I hope that we can all do more. It's important to issue a proclamation. It's important to show that in Brighton, we do honor and respect the Haudenosaunee people. But I think we all have the opportunity to do more, whether it's on Monday to join with the Indigenous community at really a full day of ceremonies out at Cobb's Hill by Lake Riley. I think I've been to the events, and they are really powerful. But there are other things that we can do to support our indigenous people and to make sure that our friends and neighbors understand the significance of this day. Whereas indigenous peoples have populated this land for nearly 30,000 years, developing rich cultures, unique languages, and spiritual traditions reflective of and intertwined with the natural environment. Whereas beginning with the European age of discovery, indigenous peoples in America were systematically and forcibly removed from their ancestral lands, murdered, displaced, enslaved, assimilated, and banned from worshiping or performing many sacred ceremonies. And of course, in many, many cases, in most cases, banned from even using their own language. Whereas the town of Brighton recognizes that long before the formation of Brighton, indigenous peoples of the Haudenosaunee Confederation were residents and stewards of this land on which we live. We're thankful that they continue to contribute to the community and keep their culture alive. Whereas the Seneca, or Onondaga Nation, were known as the keepers of the Western Gate among the members of the Haudenosaunee, guarding the western areas of the Confederation from outsiders. Whereas the place we now know as Brighton was traversed by the Onondaga, and one of the best-known landmarks in Brighton, the Council Rock, was the site of Onondaga councils and stood along the trail leading from Canandaigua Lake to what is now known as Rochester. Whereas we're thankful that members of the Haudenosaunee continue to live and contribute to our community, and that they honor and share their culture with us. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Brighton Town Supervisor William W. Maley, and the members of our town council do hereby celebrate October 13th as Indigenous Peoples Day in the town of Brighton, and encourage all Brightonians to learn more about the history and knowledge of indigenous peoples in our community, past and present. And this proclamation is signed this 8th day of October, 2025. And again, Monday, October 13th, is Indigenous Peoples Day. We now begin our open forum, which we hold at the beginning of every town board meeting. The open forum is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board concerning any matter relating to the town, whether or not it's on our agenda this evening. However, I would note that if you're here to speak on any of the 3 public hearings tonight, the public hearing on the tentative town budget, the public hearing on the local law authorizing a tax cap override, or the public hearing on the proposed removal of a 50-inch silver maple at 90 Roosevelt Road, I would encourage you to wait until the public hearing is called and opened so that your comments can be included in the record of the hearing. If you'd like to speak during the open forum and you're here in person, when I get finished with these instructions, please raise your hand. When I call on you, please come up to the podium to speak. If you're participating in the meeting remotely and you wish to speak during the open forum, again, as I mentioned earlier, you must join the meeting on Teams, and there are detailed instructions for doing so on the town's webpage. If you do that, you will be unmuted by the host to speak if you use the raised hand function. I ask all speakers during the open forum, whether in person or remote, to please state your name and address before speaking. Please limit your remarks to 3 minutes. I will give you a 30-second warning before your time expires. We may not be able to answer all the questions if you have questions for us tonight, particularly if your question relates to a matter that's not on tonight's agenda. But our goal tonight is to give the public the opportunity to share your thoughts with us and for us to be able to listen thoughtfully to your words. So please, if you do speak tonight, direct your remarks to the town board and not to the room or other speakers. Please avoid personal attacks and outbursts of any kind during the open forum, out of respect for the speakers and for the time of everybody here tonight. Also, out of respect, I don't see any signs, but we don't allow signs during town board meetings, again, to make sure people can see the proceedings. Persons who do not follow these rules will be warned. Repeated failure to follow these rules or failure to follow other directions from the chair may result in your speaking privileges being ended or being directed to leave the meeting. With that, I call the open forum into session. Is there anyone here that would like to address the board during the open forum? And I don't see anybody that has joined us on Teams.
Bill, if that's the case, I move to approve the agenda.
Second.
And I would just ask that if we could do so, we will add the summary of the 2024 Monroe County Domestic Violence Report provided to us.
Well, I amend my motion and ask that we include the domestic violence report from Willow.
Thank you. And it's been seconded by Christine, and you approved that friendly amendment. Any discussion? Hearing none. Peggy, please. I know I'll call you Dan at some point before the night's over. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Supervisor Maley.
Aye. We do have, as I mentioned, 3 public hearings tonight. The first is to consider the removal and replacement of a 50-inch silver maple located at 90 Roosevelt Road. Peggy, has the necessary legal notice been given in this matter?
Yes, in the September 29th edition of the Daily Record.
Thank you. And Glenn, Bill, the neighbors were notified as well as required under our tree law.
Yes, they received their 20-day notice 24 days prior.
Fantastic. Legal notice having been given, I declare this public hearing to be open. Is there anyone here that would like to address the town board on this public hearing concerning the removal of a 90-inch tree on Roosevelt, adjacent to Roosevelt Road?
50-inch tree.
50-inch silver maple, and we
I knew it
know,
would be real big.
and we know that silver maples get very fragile when they get that large. You do have here the arborist's report highlighting a number of the issues with that tree that give our arborist reason to believe that it is important that it be removed. No one here in the room? No one on Teams? Seeing no one then, I declare this public hearing to be closed. Councilmember Corrado, can I have a motion, please?
Of course. In the matter of the removal and replacement of a 50-inch silver maple at 90 Roosevelt Road, I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
And I would note that it does call for the replacement of that tree, and that will be done as close as possible to the area where it was taken down.
Yeah. That'll be in 2026 also, yes.
Right. Anything further? Hearing nothing, Peggy, please call the roll on that motion.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Supervisor Maley.
Aye. The next 2 public hearings both relate to our budget. The first is to consider the adoption of a local law authorizing the town to assess a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in General Municipal Law, Section 3-C, and that, of course, is the New York State tax cap. Peggy, has the necessary legal notice for this matter been given?
Yes, in the September 30th edition of the Daily Record.
Thank you. Legal notice having been given, I declare this public hearing to be open. Just a little background, under the state tax cap law, each municipality in New York is advised as to what their maximum tax levy increase would be under the tax cap without having to adopt this local law to go over it. You'll hear it called the 2% tax cap, but that's really a misnomer. 2%, the rate of inflation, or whichever is lesser, is the starting point for the formula. But each municipality considers various other elements that go into that formula and ultimately decide exactly how much they can assess the tax levy. But in our and I think it's also important to note that while we are taking action on this local law, it doesn't require us to go over the tax cap, although I will say that the tentative budget that we have before us does exceed the tax cap, and we'll talk more about why that is going forward. But as we've been discussing, special districts are included in the tax cap. They're not really taxes. In fact, they are charges that residents have asked us to assess. And particularly in the case of refuse districts, more and more people have asked us to assess those levies each year. We have over 500 new households coming on board in 2026. But while that's going to save those residents $250 or so per year, the cost of that refuse pickup, which is about $290 a year, is added into the tax cap calculation. So 500 people, 290, that's $150,000 of additional expense right there. The residents take advantage of dramatic savings, but it's considered part of the tax levy. So you have in front of you tonight, you do have the summary of the calculation for the tax cap. I would note you'll see, and we've talked about this, the impact of wages, salaries, and benefits. We are a people business. We are a service business. 75% of the town budget goes to wages, salaries, and benefits. And as we've discussed, those benefits, in the case of health insurance, premiums, will be up 13.9% next year. It is those costs of driving that are driving our need this year to go over the tax cap. So, is there anyone else that would like to address the board during the public hearing? I see still no one here. I see no one on our teams. Hearing none, I declare this public hearing to be closed. I'll ask Councilmember Salzman.
Sure, Bill. I move that we adopt local law number, I don't have a number here.
We don't have a number. We will give it a number.
Number to be determined, authorizing, of 2025, authorizing a property tax levy in excess of the limit established in general municipal law. I move that we approve this motion as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Supervisor Mailey.
Aye. And finally, the third public hearing tonight is the public hearing on the 2026 tentative town budget. Peggy, has the necessary legal notice been given on this public hearing?
Yes, in the October 1st edition of the Daily Record.
Thank you. Notice having been given, I declare this public hearing to be open. I would note that this is the first of two public hearings that we will be holding on the tentative town budget for 2026. The next public hearing will be 2 weeks from tonight, October 22nd. You have a copy of the budget. You have some of the important summary points, including, as I just mentioned, the impact of employee wages, salaries, and benefits on our budget, given the large role that they play. The town of Brighton works very hard to control these personnel costs. We participate in insurance consortia. We participate in the Finger Lakes Municipal Health Insurance Trust. That's a consortium of municipalities in Monroe and Ontario County that collectively procures health insurance for our employees and for our retirees, buying in bulk. And although that has netted us a dramatically lower rate than community rates, and that is true year after year, even with the benefits of being a part of that consortium, even with the benefits of some of the wellness programs and other activities that the town participates to keep health insurance costs down, our health insurance premiums for employees will rise 13.9% next year. And for retirees, the increase is somewhat less, but still a very real increase. We also participate in something called the Comp Alliance, which is a statewide workers' compensation insurance consortium, which is supported by the New York State Association of Towns, as well as the other statewide municipal associations. Also, an insurance consortium that we're a part of, although it's not employee benefits, it's property, casualty, and liability, is NYMIR, the New York Municipal Insurance Reciprocal. Again, affiliated with the New York State Association of Towns. It provides property, casualty, and liability insurance to municipalities across the state. This budget hearing tonight is part of our open and transparent budget development process. We started back in the spring. Department heads were asked to prepare departmental level budgets with particular focus on capital items. Those capital items go into our capital improvement plan, which we prepare every year. The state does not require a capital improvement plan, but for us, putting together that 3-year capital improvement plan every year gives us a roadmap. It lets us see where we're going, not only from a financial side, but also in terms of the infrastructure, the equipment, the major projects that we engage in for the benefit of our community. The CIP, or Capital Improvement Plan, is reviewed by our Budget Review Task Force. We appreciate their volunteer service. It's reviewed by the Finance Committee, the Finance and Administrative Services Committee, and then it's approved, and it was approved by the town board last month. Once we finish with the CIP, we move into this process. We held a budget workshop, actually 2 of them, where all of our department heads came in, presented those departmental budgets to the town board and to the public. We hold 2 public hearings. The law only requires 1, but we hold 2 public hearings. We want to make sure that members of the public can come in and share their thoughts with us, whether it's in person or remotely. The Finance Committee, again, the Finance and Administrative Services Committee, chaired by Councilmember Salzman, reviews that budget, both during the development, but also after it was presented. Of course, it was presented at our last town board meeting. We really have 2 goals as we put together our budget each year. First is to continue to provide the same high level of services that residents of Brighton have come to expect. That involves paying those wages and benefits to make sure we have quality people, and we do, working for the town. You saw us bring 2 new police officers in, but the same caliber crosses all of our departments. The high level of service that our people provide to the community is so important, whether it's our police officers, our highway department workers, whether they're plowing the streets and the sidewalks during the winter. I wish it was only the winter. But also picking up leaves, picking up lawn and garden debris, paving our streets, all of the work that the highway department does throughout the year, and all of our other departments throughout the town. We're grateful for that work. That is how we make sure we provide quality services to the community. But at the same time, we strive to keep the cost of government in check and to make sure we maintain the fiscal stability of Brighton. We've done this. The proof is in our Moody's rating, our AA2 Moody's credit rating, a very high rating from Moody's, allows us, when we need to borrow at relatively low interest rates. But also, as we noted at last week, or 2 weeks ago, our last meeting, the state comptroller, for the 4th consecutive year, recognized the town of Brighton with a perfect score for fiscal strength. That is a significant accomplishment. It speaks to our Director of Finance, Earl Johnson, and your team, but it also speaks to the caliber of every one of our department heads. You have put together quality work. You put a lot of effort into those budgets. You made sure that you're meeting the needs of the community without overspending, and I'm grateful for that. That's the framework that we hold this, the first of our 2 budget hearings, and I'll now open it to the public. Is there anyone here in the room that would like to address the board on tonight's tentative 2026 budget public hearing? And again, I would note, we will continue this public hearing at our October 22nd meeting. Is there anyone in the audience, in the viewing the meeting remotely on Teams, that would like to address the board tonight? I don't see anybody. Any board members, anything you would like to add at this point into the record of the hearing, recognizing again that we'll have the opportunity again in 2 weeks? Then we will continue this public hearing 2 weeks from tonight. And again, thank you to everybody that put this budget together. And that's all of our public hearings for this evening. Thank you very much to our stenographer. We appreciate your services as well. Can I have a motion to receive and file the one communication we added, the domestic violence report summary for 2024? Nate?
Bill, I move that we add the domestic violence report from the Willow Domestic Violence Center to communications.
And receive and file.
Receive and file.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. I knew it. I knew it. Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Supervisor Maley.
Aye. Committee reports. I learned at the last minute that the chair of the Community Services Committee, Councilmember Wilt, would not be here tonight. So we don't have a committee report from her. I don't believe we have a committee report for the committee, the Community Services Committee. So we'll move on to you, Nate, to the Finance and Administration.
I did see we posted about the Taylor Swift event coming up.
Yes,
and
we did.
I know I was hoping that Councilmember Corrado could give us her take on the new album that just came out. Seeing that you're wearing pink, and I'm told that that's representative of Taylor Swift, right?
Showgirl's life is tough.
Okay.
Well played.
Supervisor, thank you. The Finance and Administrative Services Committee last met on the 1st, October 1st. We had a short agenda. I'll just point out we had a change order to Landry Mechanical that I'm sure Glenn is going to more expertly talk about later. And we accepted a donation to the police department. And we, yeah, those are the 2 big items. Our next public meeting will be on the 15th of October, right here at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you, Nate. Public Safety, Chris.
Thanks, Bill. I reported on our September meeting of the Public Safety Committee at our last town board meeting, and our next meeting will not be until next week, October 14th, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the public is welcome.
Thank you. Christine, Public Works?
The same goes for Public Works. Our next meeting is Tuesday, October 14th at 9 a.m. Come and enjoy the exciting discussions that we have about Public Works.
There always are.
Very good. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. With that, then, we will move on to new business. Nate, reading and approval of the claims.
Thanks, Bill. Earlier today, I reviewed claims totaling $1,449,469.13. The biggest notable claim included a payment to Concord Electric Corporation. That's payment for electrical services for the Town Hall renovation project. Again, I'm not going to get too far into that because Glenn can more expertly speak to that later today. The claims appear to be in order, and I move for them to be approved.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none. Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Supervisor Maley.
Aye. Next is the proposed GCI Mortimer Avenue Battery Energy Storage System Incentive Zoning application. We have, the applicant is here tonight, but I'm going to ask Councilmember Corrado to please make the motion, and then we can
Certainly.
move into the discussion.
In the matter of the GCI Mortimer Avenue Battery Energy Storage System Incentive Zoning application, I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
And under the town code dealing with incentive zoning, the primary two actions that are incorporated in this resolution is first to make a very preliminary finding that this proposal is worthy of further consideration. Actually, there really are three things, because one isn't under our town code, one is under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and that is declaring our intent to have the town board act as lead agency under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, or SEQR. And third is to refer the matter to the planning board. And the planning board will begin their process of review of the project under the town's incentive zoning law, consistent with state incentive zoning law. But we do have Dan Brennan here tonight, and I don't know, Dan, if there's anything you want to say on the proposal. You've spoken with us, but we're happy to have you.
More brief than I did last time. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, and members of the board and town staff. My name's Daniel Brennan. I'm here on behalf of Grid Connected Infrastructure. I'm the Director of Permitting and Council. I'm here tonight with my colleague, Joshua Drellick. He's the leader of our development team. He joined me here tonight from his home in South Carolina.
I believe it was North Carolina? Okay.
That's a
Just
good
want to make
friend
sure the
right there.
record is clean here.
Not quite as impressive. In particular, I just wanted to address the question from Councilperson Corrado at the last meeting regarding the number of existing battery energy storage systems that are operating in the United States. There are currently approximately 1,400 BESS systems across the country, totaling approximately 26,000 megawatts. I've submitted for the administrative record a supplemental document that goes into the existing systems. There's a map of the location of some of the larger ones. Did each of the board members receive a copy of this for review? I have some additional copies here if you'd like.
Yeah, why don't you?
Yeah,
Would you, I
don't see it here. So.
And I also included in our supplement a graph that puts this into context with the number of failures that over the past several years, as more and more BESS projects have been deployed across the country, there have been more incidents, which is exactly what you would expect. What the graph also shows is that the number of incidents per best project has dropped significantly. That means that the industry has improved its safety record, despite the fact that there are more incidents. That's just because there are more projects operating as well. So unless there are any other questions from the board, I will try and end.
Thank you. Yeah, and if you want to share
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
summary with us, that would be great. Does anybody have any comment? We have a motion. It's been seconded. Any discussion, any comments or questions for the applicant on this matter? The referral would go to the planning board at their November meeting. Glenn or John, anything you want to add?
I think I don't think there's anything else to add. One minor point, there's a fourth item.
Actually, there
in the
is,
resolution.
yes.
So there's also a referral to the Monroe County Planning and Development Board, which is required under General Municipal Law 239M. So that will also be going simultaneously with the lead agency designation and the referral to the Planning Board. So all three of those actions run concurrently.
And as the applicant indicated, they have proposed, as is required by law, by our code, they have delineated the incentives that they believe they will need. They have also delineated their proposed amenities and pilot payments, which in the aggregate would total in excess of $2 million. Including improvements to the nearby Lehigh Valley Trail, which of course is the subject of our multiversity trail plan and the opportunity to make improvements to that trail. And they pointed out, Mr. Brennan pointed out, and if he hadn't, I would have at the last meeting, that is their proposal, but it is not their final. And we will be discussing with the applicant the total scope of their amenity and pilot package to the town. Any questions? We've had a lot of opportunity to discuss this project at the Public Works Committee. We've heard this proposal. This will give both the town board and the planning board the opportunity to consider the proposal, to go through our process, and make ultimately a thoughtful decision as to whether to proceed. If there's nothing further, then I would ask Peggy to please call the roll on the motion with the four components to it.
Councilmember Warner.
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado.
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman.
Aye.
Supervisor Mailey.
We've heard a lot about green energy. We've heard a lot about, unfortunately, attempts being made, including one that is unfortunately targeting a Brighton business that is active in green energy research from the Trump administration. It is more important than ever that we have the opportunity to consider facilities that will support New York State's green energy goals. So the opportunity to consider this project, I certainly find that it's worthy of further review, so I vote aye. And thank you for coming in. Next, Christine.
Yes, the next matter seeks to authorize the supervisor to execute change orders for the town hall renovation with Landry Mechanical in an amount not to exceed $7,634.22, exceeding the 10% contingency. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
There are two change orders here, relatively small, relating to one, relocating an existing water line downstairs that feeds the public safety wing, and 2, removing an abandoned gas line and water line piping. Again, because they didn't have plans back in the day, we find these things. So, anything, Glenn, you want to add?
No, it's just as they continue doing the demolition to support the construction, they found the 2-inch pipe that fed public safety that was in the way for the ceiling for the lower assembly room. So this is moving it out of the way so we can actually build according to the plans. The second one was just they found an old gas line that was and an old water line that was abandoned in the ceiling, and we just wanted to get rid of it so it's not there for the next 70 years for the next modernization of the town hall.
Great, thank you. Further discussion? Hearing none, Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Supervisor Mailey.
Aye. Chris, the next matter.
Bill, the next item is to accept a donation to the police department in the amount of $100 from Dama Young and amend the budget as necessary to reflect that donation. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
And thank you. Thank you to Dama Young, and we always appreciate, they're never required, but we always appreciate donations that support the good work of the police department. Unless there's something further, we have a motion, it's been seconded. Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Supervisor Mailey.
Aye. Christine.
The next matter seeks to set a public hearing for the removal and replacement of a 34-inch silver maple at 35 Sonora Parkway, a 38-inch maple at 90 Southland Drive, a 31-inch silver maple at 100 Edgeview Lane, a 40-inch Norway maple at 105 Pen Arrow Road, a 50-inch silver maple at 117 Sunset Drive, and a 34-inch Norway maple at 186 Dale Road. The public hearing is to be set for, and forgive me, I didn't,
November 12th.
thank you, November 12th at 7 PM. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Can I have a second?
Second.
And again, I would note, as you indicated, the plan would be to replace these trees at or very close
At or
to
nearby.
where possible, their current location. Any discussion? Hearing none, Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Supervisor Mailey.
Aye. And Christine, why don't you do the next one as well?
The next matter seeks to appoint Grant Dimbleby to the Planning Board, effective, paging down
Immediately.
paging down through all the trees,
Yeah, right. That's what I was just trying to do.
effective immediately, which I think it puts him on the hot seat by next week, right? Is that the next Planning Board meeting?
Next planning, he'll be on the hot seat for the October meeting. Yeah.
Excellent. I move that we adopt the resolution before us.
Second.
And thank you for applying and your willingness to serve.
Yes.
Peggy, please call the roll.
And if I may add, too, many thanks to John Osowski for serving.
Yes,
Many, many years.
he will be, Mr. Dimbleby will be serving the remainder of John Osowski's term, which does run through December 31, 2031. So Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warner,
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado,
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman,
Aye.
Supervisor Mailey.
Aye. And the last matter, Nate.
Bill, the next matter seeks to authorize the issuance of a request for proposals for planning and engineering services. I move that we approve this matter as prepared by the attorney to the town.
Second.
This will give us the opportunity to reach out, and all we're doing here is authorizing the issuance of an RFP. We're not required to do that by law, but we always prefer to, just so the board is aware of these proposals that are out there. But this proposal and these services will give us the opportunity to supplement on an as-needed basis our existing staffing in the department as we do continue to look to fill out some vacancies in the department. Glenn, anything else, or John, anything you want to add?
You hit the nail on the head there, and basically it's also providing a little bit more expertise on certain areas, like in the areas of seeker, on the planning side, doing the environmental reviews, and also as we have more construction projects coming in, it'll help alleviate some of the engineering work as needed, as you said, as needed. And also it can provide another outlook for the staff to provide additional education for the team to make them better. And my goal since being here is to make the team operationally more efficient in how we do things, and this will provide some more support for the team.
Great, and I also learned, unrelated, but related, that an esteemed local attorney who's part of a panel who gave a Monroe County Bar Association seminar on seeker that was recorded, and we will make sure that recording of Attorney Mancuso, as well as a couple of other local attorneys, is made available to staff.
We'll just edit out that 10-minute segment.
We have a motion. It's been seconded for those, for the issuance of the RFP. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Peggy, please call the roll.
Councilmember Werner?
Aye.
Councilmember Corrado?
Aye.
Councilmember Salzman?
Aye.
Supervisor Mailey?
Aye. Matters of the supervisor, we got a bunch of events coming up, and I want to make sure we highlight those. Tomorrow night, we have another one of our Town Talk series. We'll be talking, for some of us, a generation that we're only just now getting to know, Gen Z. And that should be very interesting discussion of Gen Z residents who are both in the workforce and still in school. That'll be here at 6 o'clock. Our electronics recycling, every year we do a spring and a fall shredding. The date has changed, but not by much. It is going to be on Saturday, October 25th, at the Brighton Highway Department, 1941 Elmwood Avenue, from 9 to noon. Secure document shredding, and by secure, that means the documents will be shredded on-site, and also electronics recycling. More information on exactly the types of electronics that they recycle will be coming out, but we're very pleased, as always, to be able to hold that event this fall on October 25th. That's a Saturday, from 9 till noon. Trunk or treat. Unfortunately, I again won't be able to be there this year, but my good friend, Farmer Bill. I saw a picture of Farmer Bill actually on social media today. He's a pretty handsome-looking fellow. But Farmer Bill will be there, and I think most, if not all of you. It's a great opportunity. We have community sponsorships of these various trunks, and a great opportunity for kids to get into their costumes, for grown-ups to get into costumes. Becky, if you're listening, close your ears, but we do give out candy to grown-ups in costumes, so. But it's a fun way to spend the day. At 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, October 18th. And this year, because of the construction, it will be held across the street at the Golisano Institute for Business and Entrepreneurship. Their address is 150 Sawgrass, but it's right across the street at the corner of Westfall. Our East Brighton and West Brighton community forums are coming up. The West Brighton Community Forum will be October 14th at 7 p.m. at Rustic Village. And our East Brighton Community Forum will be Wednesday, October 15th at 7 p.m. at the Legacy at Clover Blossom. That's on Clover Street, of course. So those are, I think, most of the upcoming events, although please add anything that you're thinking of that comes up. Again, it's that time of year, so I will remind everybody, please, the leaves are falling. Mulch them if you can, mow them into your lawn, but to the extent you do need to rake them or blow them out, don't get them into the street. Make sure your landscape contractor, if you hire someone, make sure they don't pile them in the street. Lots of reasons. It's a hazard to cyclists, to cars. It's illegal. That's a good reason. But it will rain again someday, and those leaves, when they're in the street, clog the storm drains, which causes flooding. I'll put in a plug, everybody that does have a storm drain in front of their house, clear it out now. You may have to clear it out again as the leaves fall, but it really makes a difference. It's real quick. Just pull the accumulated leaves and other debris out, but put them in, when you pile your leaves, put them in the lawn. If you have small quantities, we do pick up containerized, but when the leaves fall, most people put them out in bulk.
Bill, along those lines, there's been some confusion amongst my neighbors. Where are you supposed to put your refuse toters?
Oh, wow. The refuse, I'm glad you mentioned that, and let's talk a little bit about refuse toters, because again, thanks to Chad Roscoe, want to make sure everybody knows, one, that you can get a second toter, either for recycling or refuse. Give Chad a call, 784-5224. I won't make a mistake again. 784-5224 is Chad Roscoe's phone number. But we have also made the arrangements. We've talked about front door service for people who are unable to get your toters out to the street. Again, call Chad and you can make arrangements for front door service, which I believe has now begun. You can also get a smaller toter, a 64-gallon toter, if you would prefer a smaller one. We're also working to address some continued issues with bulk pickup, although I think most of the time the bulk pickup seems to be working well. We just had a situation in my neighborhood. Someone had moved. They had left some furniture out front. They were clearly no longer in the house. We made Waste Management aware of it, and 2 days later it was picked up. So, but if there are problems with your bulk pickup, again, call Chad, but we are working with Waste Management to make sure, now that we've made the decision, we are going to renew into 2026, and we're going to review as well their performance during that time. But let Chad know if there are issues relating to bulk pickups. Where do you put them? You put them not in the street. You put them in your lawn, in your tree lawn if you have a sidewalk, or in the lawn facing the street. So the handles should be facing your house. They should be 3 feet apart, so that when that automated arm grabs them and pulls them up, they
don't collide with each other.
Exactly. They don't knock the other one over, and that the lid opens right up into.
Something else that does not belong in the street.
Right.
Please put them on the lawn.
Yep. That's all I have. John, I know we have one matter for executive session.
And that's all I have to report tonight.
All right.
Supervisor, thank you.
Matters of the town clerk.
We are continuing to collect school taxes through October 31st.
Thank you. Busy time of year for the clerk's office, but it's kind of fun because you get to see people in the building. Matters of the town board.
I have two things. One, you alluded to earlier about no rain. Just want to point out to the community that Monroe County is officially in severe drought conditions. The state recommends, holding back on water usage, and they say straight out, there are steps you can take to help conserve water, such as taking shorter showers or washing only full loads of dishes and laundry. They don't recommend shorter or less cleaning of yourself. They recommend consolidating your laundry and dishwashing. And there is a website then that can help guide you on good practices and to keep tabs on the conditions. And that website is www.dhses.ny.gov/drought, DROUGHT, one of those tricky English words.
Long one.
Yeah. The other thing, I wanted to be sure everybody finds this in their mailboxes. These all hit this week. I know that Gen Z and millennials sometimes don't look in their mailboxes often, but this is a really cool, old-fashioned way to get information about the town. And in particular, I want to point out and commend Commissioner Layton for the update on town hall renovation progress and the establishment of a website where those millennials who don't go to their mailboxes can check out the progress. And that website is, bear with me, I had it all teed up here because I'm so excited about it. But you could probably say it faster than I can, Glenn. /976/town-hall-renovations. So if anybody's excited about what's going on inside Town Hall and the progress, the commissioner is keeping the community updated now in multiple formats.
And I'll provide a monthly update in line with the DPW or the Public Works meeting. And as we get pictures, I'll upload newer pictures to the site.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Well done.
Anything else from the board? Then can I have a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of a particular person?
Bill, I move that we go into executive session for that very purpose.
Second.
I do not anticipate that the board will come back out into public session. Thank you again to our ASL interpreters. And our next board meeting will be held here in this room in 2 weeks, Wednesday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. Have a great evening, everyone.